The next item is an update on the garbage bylaw rollout. I understand that's Mr. Manager, so back over to you, Mr. Noel. Oh yeah, well, I guess we cannot see her just yet because we've put up the PowerPoint on the full screen. She hasn't texted me.
I'm here.
She's there. Okay. Great. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The purpose of tonight's presentation is to basically give a brief update to council and to the press and the public where we are with the implementation of the garbage bylaw. As council is aware, the garbage bylaw was passed last fall.
I think it was actually passed maybe last spring.
Well, it was passed last year with an indication that the bylaw would come into effect on January 10th, which was yesterday. So I'm going to go through basically what we've done between August and January. We conducted an advertising campaign encouraging homeowners to register for the gray 360-liter garbage containers that you see throughout the city. We asked that they register by December 1st of 2021. By December 1st, we had 2,300 residential requests and 20 apartment buildings larger than 6 units sign up. All of those dumpsters and containers were delivered by December 8th of this year, or of 2021, sorry. Since December 8th, and mostly since December 18th, the city received another 1,300 requests for these containers. People obviously were busy and intended to and didn't get around to it, and we ended up with a backlog of calls and people thinking they were going to start getting fines. We are working through them. Delivery is ongoing, as we've indicated, and we're hoping that everyone that requested a can will have one by Monday, January 17th. But we're pretty sure we'll have extra ones after that, and this will be somewhat of an ongoing process. So the next step would be, where are we going from here? So what we're proposing for council is that between today and Valentine's Day, February 14th, we focus on educating the public. The priority of the staff and the bylaw compliance officers will not be the issuing of violation tickets. The priority of Faro will not be leaving garbage at the side of the road that isn't in strict compliance. That being said, I'd like to make it clear, if there's anything that's flagrant, and we have spoken to individuals and we've clarified their obligations and they just choose to ignore, there may be tickets issued or there may be garbage not picked up, but that will not be our priority, is to educate people. So we're going to go back to the radio advertisements, social media, the city website, written reminders from either bylaw compliance officers or Faro staff, personal contact from bylaw compliance, and the mailing of at least one more house or homeowner flyer, which outlines the highlights or the newer requirements of the bylaw. Those efforts are going to be carried out by a compilation of city staff, as I said, Faro employees, and our bylaw compliance officers. What will the message be? The message will be there are limits on residential garbage effective immediately, and that is a 360-liter container per household. The second part will be that there are options for residents who need to put out more garbage. Those options primarily consist of individual bag stickers. They're $2 a piece. They can be purchased at City Hall, Mirtec, Police Station, and all 4 Kingston's Petrocan locations. If one of those stickers is affixed to a garbage bag, it will be picked up. If it's affixed to a small bundle of wood, it will be picked up. So the idea is, if you use in excess of what everybody else is using, there is a way for you to get that extra garbage taken away. There is a cost. A second option is what we're calling second canister stickers. There may be people who are putting out substantially more garbage. We're going to give them the option to buy their own garbage can, and then come to the city, and for $200, we will give you a year sticker. So that garbage can will be picked up and dumped, whatever is in it, the same amount as your first issued can, for the sum of $200 in a year.
Yes, or, Mr. Manager, can we
Yeah.
take questions as we go, or?
As we go is fine.
Yeah, okay, Councillor Kane.
Mike, thanks. I got a call from a gentleman, he's got 3 garbage cans himself, 3 bins. The reason he has them, because he has a disabled child, and he has another daughter living in the household. And they gotta have all these old diapers and everything else to put in the garbage can, and 1 or 2 garbage bins won't do it. So, being he's got his own cans, what's limitations on that?
If he has his own can, which is a same can that the machines can pick up, so it's not a small garbage can, it's just like the gray ones, and a lot of people had them. He could pay the $200 and get the can there, and get an extra sticker for that, for 1 can. So for $200, he could put out 2 full-size cans for the year.
So
Council has not built in any compassion out or any outs for any circumstances so far into the bylaw.
I realize that, but I know it was a lengthy discussion, but we really didn't sit down and talk about that issue itself, especially with disabled children.
No, and that's why I said, if council wishes to put,
Sorry, Councillor, I don't know if Councillor Ross Robinson was going to speak to that, and,
Okay.
yeah.
I just propose that we have a conversation about specific people in a closed-door session. I think, I understand where you're coming from, and I know the conversation that has to happen, and to the manager's point where we haven't incorporated any compassion into this bylaw at all. I really believe that conversation needs to happen behind closed doors.
As it relates sorry, go ahead, Councillor.
I have no problem with that, no problem.
Yeah, as it relates to specific individuals, for sure, and maybe Mr. Manager, maybe would be worth sort of reminding everybody the context of why it's 1 bin per household, and that's based on household, not on member of people living in the household.
yeah, I mean, it was with the idea that, you're gonna have some people that we're literally getting, the garbage can is too big for us, and then we're getting, because I don't put out that much, and then some families, they could be extended families, they could be multi-generational family. If they're living in one residence, unfortunately, under the rules, they get 1 can. Okay, so if you were going to look, and it would not be surprising that as we implement this, there may be tweaks that council wants to make to adjust this for certain circumstances. That is one that came up earlier. What if the purpose of if the reason for the extra garbage is medical based, should there be an allowance there? So we expect that conversation to take place. As I say, if it's not settled I hope it would be settled in the next 6 weeks. As I said, we are going to be, we are not probably going to stop picking up somebody's garbage for the reasons you stated, if that's what they're putting out. Not till now. Not till Valentine's Day. If council wishes in that meantime to start entertaining an opening or a modification of the bylaw, I can tell you we're probably not going to pick up or punish people when there's a change obviously coming down through the council path for a modification to the bylaw. So if we know within the next 6 weeks that council wishes to tweak, come the time where we're going to start stressing enforcement a little more, we will probably not enforce in the areas that council has indicated they wish to modify, even if those modifications aren't technically in place on Valentine's Day. What we're trying to say is we're going to use common sense in trying to get this bylaw implemented. The idea is to get the population to, put a reasonable amount of garbage out so we can get it out and picked up at a reasonable cost with the mechanicals that we have. No more people picking up garbage and throwing out backs. There's a lot of benefits here, but we understand that, council's goal is not the punishment, the penalties, or the not picking up of garbage. Especially not early in the implementation of this bylaw.
I thank you for that, Mike, and I can understand where Councillor Ross Robinson's coming from, too. It should be discussed in the community as a whole, is right. But, I use no names, and rightfully so I want to thank Tara for that. Thank you, Mr. Manager.
We're hoping the 6-week flushes out any operational problems that we have, any common sense things we miss. We're hoping that is 3 more garbage pickups. So there will be approximately 4 garbage pickups to allow us on either side of the river to identify what the issues are.
And I think worth noting as well, later last year, we did receive a number of letters from folks with large families on the river. And so in consideration of that, the option to buy the sticker for the second can was added to the bylaw. So we have heard from, again, people with large families that they may need more. So there's a bulk option in addition to the sort of a la carte $2 sticker option as well. So that those additions have been made, and as the management will work out the kinks. But again, being grounded in the fact that the purpose here is to reduce what's going to landfill and reduce ultimately cost to taxpayers as well. So
the other thing that's not in the PowerPoint, and I'll tell you it's going out in the flyer, is for those people that did have their own containers, we are going to give them the place and date that they can pick up their free 20 stickers. If you had your own container, you were getting 20 stickers for $2. That will be in the mail out. It's not on my PowerPoint, but it is something we're going to let those people know, and they'll have to call Public Works and arrange, because it's only those that have said, I'm going to use my own can, that are entitled to those for free.
Councillor Johnston, did you want to have a comment or question?
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, to the City Manager. Thank you for that, Mr. Manager, because I did have a question from folks. Hypothetically, let's say that you have your blue garbage can and your gray garbage can that work perfectly fine with the truck that goes around the standard way. You put the gray one out one week and the blue one out the next week. Folks, if they don't need to get a new can, are entitled to stop into City Hall or one of these locations, or is it just City
I expect it'll be Mirtec.
Mirtec?
And they will be given a number for them to call. If they want us to mail them to them, we'll mail them to them.
Yep.
If they don't want to take the drive up to the Public Works
Sure.
Department.
Yeah, thank you. So the 20 stickers at Mirtec, that's really good to know.
Yeah.
So again, just in terms of process, because I just want to make sure that I'm really crystal clear on this. If folks have the standard 2 garbage cans that work pretty well and they can still use them both on alternating weeks again?
That's correct.
This is not going to change. The 20 stickers are available for them at the Mirtec building. And life goes on just as normal, with the exception that, should you have an extra bag beyond your can, regardless of what week it is or what color you use, you put your sticker on it.
That's correct.
Perfect, thank you.
The one of the other
sorry,
items that,
Mr. Manager, just to Deputy Mayor Quinn here.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a point of clarification while we are public here. Those 20 stickers are available as we speak, or sorry, tomorrow as it were?
well, they were, I think we want to put the date and the information, we were talking Monday, like in the flyer.
Yes.
Okay, so, while the number for Public Works is 623-2020, the same number can be used for those looking to pick up their stickers. I'll put it out now. As I say, it's going to be in the mail out to remind people, but we can accommodate them now. If anybody's listening and wants to note the number, they call and we'll arrange to get them to them.
Beautiful, thank you.
One other item that we haven't stressed during the bylaw, and we're going to have to remind the public, because we've seen already, people aren't aware, white goods and large goods. White goods are clearly your fridges and stoves and washers and dryers. Big goods are your chairs, your tables, your couches that you're throwing out. There's no more throwing those out without phoning Faro. You now have to phone Faro, and they will tell you what date to put them out. And then they won't be sitting in your yard for 10 days when you're wondering when they're going to show up. So instead of just putting it out, if people would call Faro at 773-FARO, they will be given a date, they will put out their white goods or the Chesterfields, and I think they'd be happy they will disappear in fairly short order from those companies. It would also serve us as the company doesn't have to drive around the whole city looking for them. They'll know exactly where to go, therefore the cost would come down to the city. The last item in the PowerPoint is, besides the cans, the extra cans and the extra stickers, council has heard since, for a while, that since we switched to recyclables, what happens if you have bags of fish or lobster shells and you don't want to wait? for the 2 weeks. If you put the $2 sticker on, you can drive it to the compound at Faro, 108 Wayland Street, right after Parks and Dairy Bar. There's a turnoff. You got your stickers. You don't have to keep them in your yard for 10 days. They'll let you take them there and put that garbage in their compound. With the sticker. With the sticker. So it's a matter of not keeping them around for 2 weeks if you don't want to. So in summary, we're well aware that we have a new system with new rules. Just for your information, the amount of work we have, Monday was the first day garbage, and we had over 160 apparent issues, violations, things that were noted. So we have a system where we are getting basically Faro's informing us where the issues are, and we're going to start picking them off, or we're going to educate people. That's the goal. I want to stress that. Is not we're going to run out and put a ticket. I also wish to stress that if people see the bylaw compliance officer at their door, they are not there to issue you a ticket. They will be there to explain to you the bylaw. Okay, so please, let them in or talk to them. They are new personnel for us. The citizens of the city aren't used to having them around. And as the mayor indicated, we intend to use them for parking, but I believe their first experience with citizens of the city will be in the garbage bylaw. And it literally will be knocking on doors and explaining things to them. And so we want to make sure the public knows that that is, that is legit, and they are working for us. And finally, I'll stress once again, we are going to be patient, and we are going to educate, except when it's flagrant, and it's clear that somebody does not wish to comply with the bylaw. So hopefully that's minimum.
Thanks, Mr. Manager. I'm wondering if we can just minimize the PowerPoint, Madam Clerk, so I can see if there's any questions from the members of council who are virtual tonight. And Mr. Manager, one question from myself is, when will that flyer, the mail out with the information, be heading out to homes in the community? I know
the latest next week.
What's that, sorry?
Hopefully this week.
Okay.
At the very latest next week.
Okay. Perfect. And that information will also be available on the website as well,
We're going to put it on the website, yes.
Is it on the website now?
I'm not sure. I'm working with ECDev. I'm not sure if it's ready to post yet, but.
Okay. Hopefully we'll be able to get it up on the website sooner than later, and then everyone can watch for the mail out later this week or early next then. I do see a question, virtual question from Councillor Harris. Jason?
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. Just a question on Councillor Johnson with the 23 tags. You have to register that garbage can though before you get your 23 tags. I might have missed that, but I know that's part of the bylaw, right? You just can't call to get 23 tags. You have to register your garbage can.
You have to call and you have.
Get them, I do believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, you call and you tell us your address, and we have a list of what addresses we did deliver to. So you shouldn't be one of those, and if you're not one of those, you will be told where to come and pick them up. So.
Yeah, no, it just didn't seem clear to me, but it was in and out, so I just want to make sure. So thanks very much.
No problem.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor DePlacy.
Just a quick thought. Similar to how you gave us an update on the delivery, where are we at in the process of the garbage ticket distribution?
I'm going to defer to the Public Works Director. I see him on screen. You're mute, Jay.
Oh, Director Shanahan, you have to just unmute yourself.
You got it? Can you unmute him?
Yeah. He's saying something.
Okay, sorry, Director. Can you try to unmute yourself one more time? We just haven't been able to hear you.
No.
Director Shanahan, can you hear me? Yeah, in the top right of your screen, you should be able to unmute yourself. The microphone button. There you are. There you are.
Once it removed, it keeps showing me.
You're good. No, we could hear you. No, okay.
Now you're lost.
Now you just. Oh. I love this. There you go.
I'm on.
You're on, Director Shanahan. Oh.
I assume he may be going to, he's going to Director Rao's office, I
It's good to
assume.
see them jogging though, they're staying healthy.
Yeah.
I can just repeat my question.
No, I think he's going to Director Rao's office, and I expect he'll pop up.
There he is.
I guess let's try it. I tried to phone down to Aaron's office here. Is that any better?
That's better. Yes.
Mine was shutting off into mute there, so. I guess an update, we had 3,744 cans delivered as of this afternoon. We have 250 left in the queue that we plan to deliver before the end of the week, but the calls are coming in about 50 or 60 a day, so we're gonna try to keep at them until we get them distributed and get them out for all the residents.
So I guess my question was around the garbage tickets. How's that distribution process been going? What's the update on the garbage tickets? I know I've had a few questions from people asking me when they're getting the garbage tickets.
We were anticipating to have the garbage tickets, have them out by now, but due to all the late registrations, our staff has been tied up on the phone and we haven't been able to get to them, but we do have a list accumulated. And as soon as we can get an opportunity in the next few days, we have some additional staff that are going to actually start to put the tickets together and make them available for the residents. I'm hoping in the coming days if we can kind of get caught up here with the phones as far as late registrations.
Okay, no, that's great. I know people more so were worried about being missed, I guess, so that's good to maybe pass that on.
Yeah, no problem. There's nobody missed. Everybody's, we have it all recorded. It's all here. It's time more than anything to get everything out there.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Director Shanahan, above and beyond to get that answer to us. Councillor Harris, your hand is still up. Do you have another question, or is that from your last question? Oh, hands down, so I'm assuming it was the last question. So are there any other questions for Mr. Noel or for anyone on this topic? And seeing none in the room and none virtually, thank you so much.